Keith One-Time Thurman is as confused as can be. About what? We answer that next. Please like and subscribe. Please help us hit 10,000 subscribers. Share this with everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another episode of The Hot Stove. Keith Thurman comes out and makes another mind-blowing comment, showing us he just doesn't get it. Keith Thurman's not a big deal. No one really cares about him anymore. He's largely irrelevant. He came out and said that Keith Thurman fixed his mouth to say the following: "How am I the B-side against Manny Pacquiao?" Okay, let's get into this. Okay, Manny Pacquiao was half of the biggest fight in the history of boxing. The biggest sporting event ever, from a revenue standpoint, was Manny Pacquiao against Floyd Mayweather. Manny Pacquiao has done 1 million plus pay-per-view sales numerous times, including against Tim Bradley, Juan Manuel Marquez, Oscar De La Hoya, Antonio Margarito, so on and so on. He just did 500,000 against Adrian Broner. That was this year. He has sold over 10 million pay-per-view buys in his life, and has A-sided countless pay-per-views that have been extremely successful, have done huge numbers. You, Keith Thurman, are 30 years old and have sold, get ready for this, a grand total of 0 pay-per-views. Not a single solitary one. None. 0. Zilch. Nada. Not a one. Rosena in Italiano. Not a single one. 0. None. You are also completely irrelevant. You have fought one time in the last 27 months, and that was a majority decision victory over a gatekeeper named Josecito Lopez, who got iced by Andre Berto. That's right, a guy that got iced by Andre Berto fought you to a majority decision. You aren't relevant, and you're not particularly good anymore. You almost got iced by Josecito Lopez. The last time you looked impressive in a fight was against Danny Garcia, like 2.5 years ago. You haven't looked good since. Well, you've only fought once since then, and you looked a bit trash. You're basically a walking punchline at this point. Boxing fans, critics, media, we don't take you seriously anymore. Like, this is a cash out fight for Keith. You know that. This is it for him. He's already acknowledged if he loses to Pacquiao, he's going to retire. Well, he ain't going to win. That's for dang sure. So he's going to retire. So this is it for him. This is his cash out fight. He will likely make 10 million or so, roughly, give or take. He'll take that money. He'll go retire to China and play his flute full time, all day long, day and night and day. Play your flute. But that'll be it for Keith Thurman in boxing. In addition, he's ducking Errol Spence. He came out and said he'll fight Spence in the second half of 2020. He needs Spence to build his name up. Okay. Errol Spence just did 400,000 pay-per-view buys and sold 50,000 tickets. 2 things you've never done. Spence just did that 2 months ago. Spence is a far, far, far bigger star than you ever were. You never did that, even when you were fighting once a year, which you don't. Now you fight once every year and a half, 2 years. Fought once in 27 months. Even when he was a big star, even when Thurman was still active by his standards, he never sold any pay-per-views. He never sold 50,000 tickets. He had a homecoming fight. He sold like 8 or 10,000 in Florida. And Errol Spence needs to get his name up. In 2017 and 2018, you said you were going to fight you were going to fight Errol Spence in 2019, right? He said it over and over again. I'll fight Errol Spence in 2019. Well, it's 2019 now. You said you need 2 tune-ups and then you can fight Spence in early 2020. So it went from 2019 to early 2020. Now you said the second half of 2020. I'm face-palming. If you can't hear that, I'm face-palming. So in 2017, he said he'd fight him he'd fight Spence in 2019. In 2018, he said he'd fight Spence in 2019. In 2019, he said he'll fight Spence in 2020. And now it's the second half of 2020. I mean, this is a joke. Keith Thurman is a joke at this point. So he doesn't understand why he's the B-side to Manny Pacquiao when he'd sold over 10 million pay-per-views and you've sold 0. And the only guy you fought the last 2.5 years was Josecito Lopez. You don't understand why you're the B-side. That's hard to believe. And you need to wait for Errol Spence to get his name up when he's just sold 50,000 tickets and 400,000 pay-per-view sales. Two things you'll never do. I mean, this is getting embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Keith One-Time Thurman isn't serious, right? Like, Keefy, you're done. You're not relevant in this division anymore. You're kind of an afterthought. He also, we know for sure that he ducked Terrence Crawford, right? So it's not that he's just ducking. He doesn't understand he's the B-side to Pacquiao, which I don't know how he doesn't understand that. He's clearly ducked Errol Spence, and he's ducked Terrence Crawford too. Look, Keith Thurman said that he didn't respect Terrence Crawford, right? He didn't respect him at 147, and that he had to get his name up. And Terrence Crawford was undisputed at 140, something Danny Garcia never did. But he said he'd be more than happy to welcome Danny Garcia to the welterweight division. Well, why the double standard? Why would you welcome Danny Garcia to the welterweight division, but not Terrence Crawford, who you don't even respect? And then he says he needs 2 tune-up fights to get ready for Terrence Crawford in 2020. But you don't have any respect for him. So why would you need tune-ups for a fight against a guy you don't even respect? It's something like that. That's mind blowing, right? Like, how many sides of your mouth can you speak out of? So you have no respect for him. He's the number 1 pound for pound guy in the sport, but you have no respect for him. But you also can't fight him because you need a year of tune-up fights to get ready for him. But you don't respect him. I mean, this is, and we know he won't fight him because he's openly ducked him, right? We know that Terrence Crawford offered him a fight, offered him a contract, and he turned it down. He doesn't want to fight Terrence Crawford. He can't beat Terrence Crawford. He can't beat Manny Pacquiao. Right? Like, let's examine how Keith Thurman is respected. Right? Manny Pacquiao ducked Terrence Crawford for years when they were on Top Rank. Refused to fight him. Errol Spence also ducked Terrence Crawford. We can say that he told Terrence Crawford to go get a belt. Until you get a belt, you're useless. Well, Terrence Crawford obliged to get the BO. And Errol was like, no, I want to fight Keith Thurman. So Errol Spence doesn't want to fight Terrence Crawford, but he wants to fight you. Manny Pacquiao doesn't want to fight Terrence Crawford, but he wants to fight you. These guys don't respect you. Like, you're not that good. You're not a big draw. Outside of boxing fans, no one knows who you are. People don't even know you're active anymore. You fought once in 2.5 years against Josecito Lopez, who nearly iced you. I mean, you're completely irrelevant. And then you duck Spence, you duck Crawford, and you wonder why you're the B-side to Manny Pacquiao? I mean, this is amazing. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Let me know what you think about Keefy One-Time Thurman. Please let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Please remember to like and subscribe. Help us hit 10,000 subscribers. Share this everywhere for another episode of The Hot Stove. From Texas to the world, this is 3D Boxing saying thank you and God bless.
Enjoy 3D Boxing vlog videos? Show us some love by clicking the like button. Don't miss a tweet, post, story, or video. 3dboxingvlog.com is also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit the subscribe button now to stay inside the ring.